Happy Sunday, everyone. I was making some tags this morning and I thought I would come in and actually make them with you today. Primavita, she is Blue Lace Journals, has an Etsy store, and she also makes the most beautiful journals. She's joined Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah on her design team about 2 or 3 months ago, and the journals she is coming out with are absolutely out of this world. They are absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so she asked me if I'd like to do some design team work with her. So I'm using some of her digitals, and I'm playing with Tracie Fox's gorgeous tea cards. And that's why I thought, well, I'm going to turn the camera on, show you what I'm playing with. Now, I'm going to show you some of Primavita's kits first, because she's got a sale on. And the sale goes right through to the end of December, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, all her kits are collages. Now, sometimes when you get a collage, you can be a little bit, I ain't too sure what I'm going to do with this, because they're quite busy pages. But that's what's so lovely about them, is that you can utilise what you have on the page. For me, I will be later on fussy cutting some of these out and doing decoupage and all sorts of things. Anyway, I'll just show you the kits first. This one is the Botanical Digital collage, and this is kit 1, and you get 2 sheets in this one, and these are really beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So that's set 1. Then set 2 is this one. Now, this is the set I'm playing with at the moment, and these are so lovely because you've got the really sort of muted colours, you know, the browns or beiges that we love for background work, but then you've also got this lovely splash of colour in it. They're really beautiful, beautiful collage pages. I mean, I love working with collage pages and making my own, but it's really lovely to see somebody who's really taken into what she's doing. Okay, yeah, isn't this gorgeous? The colours and the birds are just absolutely stunning. So that's kit 2, and they're all the Botanical collage sheets. And then I've got set 3 here. I thought it was easier to start with set 3. Now, this was the first one I saw, and I went, oh my days, how beautiful is this parrot plant? Absolutely stunning. That's what drew me straight away. Really, really stunning papers. So they're what I'm playing with, but I'm actually using just set 2 at the moment. This is how far I've got. So I've taken 2 of the papers, move the middle out of the way, and I have just used the card at the moment, the photo card, and in the middle, in the sandwich in the middle, is some file folder, but the file folder we get here is very, very flimsy. It's about 120 GSM. It's, you know, you can hear it's really thin. It's not, you know, thick like you get over in America. I've got Panda file, and they're at least twice as thick as that stuff, but it just makes it a little bit more sturdy. So far I've just put the cover together. I've made a wee pocket here and a pocket here, and I've cut out some envelopes. What I did was I just had a template, drew around the template, and got the shape of the envelope and cut them out, and I think they look absolutely lovely as envelopes. I really do. And then I've sewn round them, because I do like to sew round my envelopes. So I've started on those, and then I've done another one here, and I mean, look at these butterflies, really beautiful, and they'll be lovely decorated up, won't they? And then I've obviously double backed the papers, and I've kept this quite simple because I wanted this to be a writing journal. So I've put some aubergine paper in here and some coffee dyed paper. I'm trying to keep it quite a simple journal, this one. And this is the Amazon packaging. I thought I'd stick some of that in as well, because I do like the colour of it and I like the feel of it, and I thought it'd really just give something different to it, you know, to the whole journal. So that's just the start of the journal that I've started to make, so that I can, when I'm doing the makes for Primavita, I can put them in there and build it up. Now, these are Tracie's. I'm going to hold it that way because most of them are that way. These are her tea card kits. Now, a lot of these came out a year and a half ago, if I remember correctly. And they are really gorgeous, her tea card kits. They really are lovely. I so love playing with these. I've actually got a lot that have been printed down smaller. So they're like tiny little diddy ones that you can do, you know, sort of like this tiny size. And then you can use them on, you know, as embellishments at the top of the page. I just love all her tea card kits, I really do. And I thought it'd be lovely to add them because the colouring on them will really, you know, bring out Primavita's gorgeous pages, but also, you know, they're perfect. They were just perfect, you know, with the birds. This one in particular I've cut out to use. I was cutting them out yesterday. And you can see the colouring will just go so well with the tags. Another beautiful one, isn't it? She made, I think it was about 12 sets. I can't remember. I know there's a lot of sets. And you buy them all separate. They're all separate individual downloads. So obviously, if you're interested in birds, you would buy birds. And if you're interested in florals, you would buy them, or butterflies. But I mean, look at these, how they would match the other kit, you know, the other collages. I mean, I can still remember getting the Brook Bond tea cards in my tea. You know, it was in the loose leaf tea. They didn't have tea bags in those days. And I've got quite a few. I've got them saved up for my grandson Levi. He'll be 14 after Christmas. Heaven help us all. You know, at that age where they think they know everything. So that's what I'm working with this morning. And I've pulled out a couple of my little boxes because in here I've got all the little labels from Tracie's Naturalist kit, the entomology and field notes and things like this. And then I've got another box here with like her, you know, her natural, she had like all the different, what they mean, like a sapling, it's a young tree, and woodland, what woodland means, to put on the tags. And then there's another lot here that I pulled out. So, because obviously I brought the original matchboxes when they very first come out. And I love using them for the minis, just my tiny minis. So I've got a lot of different bits of ephemera here that I can use. All cut out, ready, just to do my tags. Now the tags, how I did the tags, sorry, I'm stretching right across my kitchen table. What I did was I literally just took the paper and stuck it on. It's quick and simple as that. Then I cut it to 5.5 inches that way, and then each tag going this way is 2 3/4 inches. And the bit that you get cut off the top is a wonderful strip that you can make pockets with and tuck spots and everything else, and you can even make smaller tags with. And then they look really lovely, don't they? Absolutely lovely to decorate up. And what I did was I sewed round 2 of the ones where I've cut the corners off and kept 2 blank, and then I've sewn round 2 right, because to me tags don't always have to have the top cut off, so I've sewn round 2 more of the square ones, and that's what I'm ready to play with. And that's as far as I got this morning, other than grabbing a load of different bits of lace and things like that over on the side here. Bits of lace and all sorts of bits of stuff, and some old bits of book paper. I was cutting out snowflakes, so I've kept that because obviously you can tear out bits from that. So that's where I'm up to. So I thought I'd just have a play this morning making tags. Obviously, when you have a collage, you've got to think about the colours that are actually in the collage. Now here you've got a lot of green, so you want to complement them, those colours. You don't want to be making things clash, because that just doesn't work on your tags at all. I've just seen that owl sat right on the top. I think he would be wonderful on there. And so I've got a right little bundle here of all sorts of different ones that I've cut out. It was just, I cut 3 pages out last night, and then I've already put distress around the outside of them. That's why they're all muddled up, because obviously when you're distressing, you just sort of dump them down, and then when you pick them all up, they all get muddled up again, don't they? I do like that one. That sort of would go really well with that green, wouldn't it? The green of the stamp. I think that would be really lovely. And I like that one. I think that would go really well with that one, wouldn't it? Somebody's helping us this morning because these are just coming at the right colour, aren't they? I'm just wondering how you're all doing with lockdown at the moment. Obviously, the UK is on lockdown, and they're locked down for a whole month. In Scotland, we're still on tier. We're still on tiers. We are tier 2, which is okay because we've still got, you know, shops open and things like that, and you can still get your takeaways and everything. Glasgow is on tier 3 and around that area, going upwards and out towards Edinburgh, but they are thinking of putting them on tier 4 because obviously inner cities are having more of a problem with the lockdown than most places because obviously there's so many people together, isn't there? I know Victoria, you know, Minxie from Northern Craftaholics, her son goes to school, and of course, you know, they're worried every day what is going to happen. You know, is he going to be sent home? Is it going to be okay? You know, are they going to be able to get him to school? And then I was listening to Rachel, you know, Roxy Creations, and she was saying that they're on a tier system, but they are thinking of changing the tier system, and the tier that she would be on would be very difficult for her to get Lulu to school. She would have to get a letter to say the whole reason why she was going from her area to another area was to take her to school. So I know it's getting very difficult, and I noticed this morning that Austria also is just about to lock down too. I know it's a really worrying time about Christmas as well, and everybody's getting a bit, you know, you really want to see your family, you want to have that hug, because we all miss hugs so much, don't we? You know, not having a hug and not being able to see your family is really hard. So I'm thinking of you all at the moment, and, you know, there's so many of you just about to go into Thanksgiving. I'm just hoping that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and that, you know, maybe, you know, by using what we have available to us, you know, FaceTime and things like that, you can get to see your family. But I know it's not the same. It really is a difficult time. But at least we can craft. But I have a feeling that everybody's going to be getting their Christmas decorations up very, very early this year. What I'm cutting here is, you know, the 50-year-old lace that I put into the giveaway. This, I've got to, if I just unknot it because I just threw it on the side. This stuff. Yeah, you remember this. Now, I cut out a load of the little snowflakes at the top. And what I'm cutting out at the moment is this lovely, lovely stuff here that's in the middle to just pop in underneath. It's got a lovely sort of feel to it, and it's perfect for things like this. And this is wool. I'm sure I've shown you this wool before. It will be for scarf making, and I'll find the end of it. It comes like this, but then when you pull it apart, you know, you've got this lovely stringy effect to it. And it's great on tags, it really is. Let's get that back down there. See how much is showing. That looks good, doesn't it? So now I've totally lost my track of thought where we were, because I went off onto lace. This is the problems of when your brain starts to give up on you. It's quite funny because so many people around our age, we're at that stage now where, you know, the memory's starting to go and you're feeling your age these days. I think that's why YouTube leave us alone a lot, because they don't need to monitor our channels, because they know we're not going to be doing anything we shouldn't be doing. Naturalist, that's quite a nice colour up there. There we go. Let's stick that one in there. So I'd love to know if you make your own decorations. When I first became a Wiccan, gosh, must be about 25 years, no, maybe even longer than that, you couldn't get Halloween decorations for love nor money. You had to make your own decorations. You really did. It was not a case of you can go to the shops and buy them. Whereas now, obviously, everything is there for you now. You can get everything. But I watch Olivia, and she does Dollar Tree makes. And some of the Dollar Tree makes she makes are just incredible. She does a lot of deco mesh and things like that. And she really does get that high-end boutique type look from very, very cheap things. And the one thing I love about her is she will constantly say, use what you have. And I think that is wonderful, because in this day and age, you know, a lot of people are there trying to get you to buy stuff. You know, obviously I show you the kits that I'm actually using, so you can see what I'm actually doing. But we all appreciate people don't have that money to just keep going and buying and buying and buying. You need to reuse what you've got. And this is one of the things I love about Tracie's stuff, is I've got this stuff of Tracie's, and I print them and reuse them all the time. It's like the Artie Maze page that I use all the time with the lines on the back from Ferns and Feathers. I've used that fern kit for so long, and it works. So think about, you know, when you're doing something, think about what else you can do with it. You know, what other ways you can use your kit. You don't have to necessarily use it once, put it away. Think of how you see something like a collage sheet. You can do many more things with it. Like I said before, you know, I'm just looking at the one on the top here. Look at these gorgeous butterflies. You could cut them butterflies out, and then you can stick them on your tags, stick them on your pages. You can use them in so many other ways. And, you know, maybe you just want a bud. And another lovely thing is if you actually tear. I love to tear the paper because it gives such a beautiful edge to it. And then when you put your distress ink on, it looks lovely, and it's soft and it's muted. So think about what you've got. Don't just automatically go in and buy a new kit every time you think you want to see something. And if you've been doing journaling and collecting kits for the last 2 or 3 years, you will have quite a lovely collection now. My favourite winter one, of course, is the Artie Maze one, which I've not shown you yet. I'm going to show you that with my journal that I made, A Winter's Tale. And what I've been doing every year is I take it out every now and again, and I will look for poetry that is like winter time, that type of thing, and I will put poetry in it. And I just love it. That is what I made it for. It's a bit of a gator mouth, as you do. When you first start journals, everything is so big, and you want to use all the ephemera, and you can't stop, can you? You cannot stop making stuff to go in your journals. It all has to go in there, and you pile it all in, and they're like this, aren't they? And even when you put the tie on, the tie's straining to try and get the sides together, you're like... So we've all been there, haven't we? This one hasn't got anything underneath it. Now what I'm going to do with these, a couple of these, I'm going to actually use some lace like this or something, and I will actually just add it at the top, you know, like this. And a couple of them I'm going to put a grommet in, and then put sari silk or something like that through it. I get this cotton lace. On Amazon there's a bundle where you can get cotton lace, and you can get you know, the white nylon lace together, and it's really cheap for a packet. I think you get something like about 15 rolls or something. I know there's a lot of rolls in it. And I'm just going to stick that there because that's where that's going to go. And it just looks absolutely wonderful. Yes, you can just about see what I'm playing around at. If I actually move it up a bit, you might be able to see the top of them better, can't you? Yeah. That's one thing I love about the kitchen table, is I've got a lot more space to play with. When I do it in my bedroom, obviously I've only got the size of the computer table, the bit that pulls out, because the top of it obviously has got stuff on it and my computer and all the rest of it. So I think these are coming on really lovely. I'm really enjoying this morning. Yeah, so think about what you're putting in your journals. This time of year, there's a lot of people who do the December dailies. Now, I will show you my December daily as well. I'll do a video just on December daily. And the year that I did it 2 years ago, I just didn't have the time last year. We were just absolutely snowed under at the hub last year. I didn't get much chance to think. When I did my December daily, it was amazing because I was doing so much in the community. I've got newspaper cuttings and all sorts of different things that I've added into mine. I had so much fun making it. I really did. It was just absolutely brilliant. This is tumble dry sheet. With my tumble dry sheet, I just stick it in a little bit of tea, and I just love using tumble dry sheet. I really do. Let's stick that bit on there. Stick that on there. Yeah. So when you come to do a December daily, you're going to be doing a little make each day, like maybe make a tag or something like this, or a pocket for your journal, and you're also going to be putting down, it's a diary, isn't it, of what you've been doing in December. And I found doing that was so relaxing at night, just to sit there and just get out these bits and just say, right, I'm going to do this. And, you know, sometimes I'd miss a day and I'd have to catch up, but most of the time I was able to do it, even though I was so busy. And I really did get so much out of it doing it. And I've got newspaper cuttings from where the, you know, there were things that all the kids were doing, and I just loved it. And I put lots of photos and everything else in it. But obviously, if we're not going anywhere, if we're kind of stuck in this no man's land of we're not too sure where we're going and what we're going to do, I'm not quite too sure what people are going to actually be able to put in their December dailies this year, which is really, really sad, isn't it? Because normally you'd have your family round and everything else. Right, I think they're okay. I think I'm going to stick those down. I use Fabri-Tac for anything that's got fabric on it, you know, or sewing. If you're going to, say you've made a pocket and you've sewn around it, you want to stick your pocket down, because it's got cotton, you know, where you've sewn your cotton, I will then stick down you know, that onto the book with Fabri-Tac. But everything else, I use the Nouveau, this one. I've got art glitter glue. I used art glitter glue for many, many years, thanks to the lovely Dawn Bibby. Dawn Bibby started out crafting on QVC. She was one of the very, very first people to do crafting over here. Whoops, a daisy. That's the grandson. Shall I tell you why? Because yesterday he decided to push that forward and make a big hole, and I forgot about it. Leave her, you're dead. So I'm just going to grab something and get that big mess off of there before we have a complete disaster. Levi, Nana's going to get you later. I love my grandson until he upsets me. What he was doing, I told, because he was obviously picking the glue off that was round the actual nozzle. You know what kids are like, they pick off glue and everything. It's like if they have the wax out at school, don't they, and they have to stick their fingers in the wax. You know, we've got to stick our fingers in the wax and then peel it all off. Yep. Oh dear, kids are so funny. Yeah, so, and I noticed, and I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm just getting the glue off. And the nozzle was bent right back. I have actually got a Sugar Bell bottle coming any time now. I've got the lids and everything. Because I cannot believe that they actually did what they did with these bottles. I really can't, you know, to get it that you've got to cut the lid off to use your glue. Unless they own Sugar Bell. That's my only thought. Do they own Sugar Bell? Maybe they do. Maybe that's what the answer is. Oh dear. Well, and I'm also really glad I have a glue rubber so I can get all the little bits of glue off later. Oh dear, what what do we do with them? I love them to bits and they drive you insane. I'd got him a new onesie yesterday and he came in and that's it. On goes the onesie. He loves onesies, absolutely loves onesies, Levi. And he tried it on and he sat in the chair with a hot chocolate. And I said to him, Levi, are you not going to take that off? And he goes, no. So he's gone home to his dad's in his onesie. Good job, it's literally just round the corner, about 5 minutes away, if that. I'm not too sure what looks he got when he walked round the corner, but good job we live in a small place where everybody knows everybody. Honestly, they do make you giggle, don't they? Right, let's put some of that on there. I have so enjoyed doing this. I don't normally do a lot of these where I sit and craft and chat away, because I know people have, you know, they value their time. They really do. And I try to make the videos as informative as I can. And throw in them strange stories that I throw in every now and again. I know a lot of you are still laughing at some of the ones that I've thrown out from when I was younger. Let's just turn that round. That's a bit better. And then get this stuck down. Oh yeah, somebody messaged me about the digital live. It's Rachel at Craft Portal, and I think what it was, because I hadn't written that the digital was on there. I think I've done it again, haven't I? That's not going to work at all. I thought maybe the glue would have sealed up. I didn't actually write on the link on the Poppy video that I did. I didn't actually write that this is the digital thing. I just put Rachel's name down. If you look for Rachel, if you look at Craft Portal Rachel, and it was the live that she did Saturday, and she has actually got written on the video that we're making digitals, and it was so informative. I had an absolutely amazing time. We used Craft Fairy to choose an image. We all got the same rose image, and it's free. It's the free ones, so you aren't actually in a situation where you're trying to, you know, you're worried because you're going to have to spend money on apps or anything else. And it was Erase Maker was the name of the app that we used. And to actually see how you can actually get one image out of the background clearly with nothing else there, and how beautifully you can do it in such a simple way. It was like colouring, you know, the wonderful feeling you get when you've been colouring, that amazing relaxation. There's not actually a lot of chat in that video because we were all enjoying it so much. We were just really, really loving cleaning up these images and just having a wonderful time. So if you really do want to get into digitals, do go and have a look, because, you know, I was so happy at doing this. I've done bits before on Photoshop Elements and all the rest of it, and I can put a watermark down on the work that I do. But to actually get that, you know, so I'm sticking it straight on the card this time, so I don't know when I end up with a puddle. To get that, you know, to actually see, and other people are doing it with you, you know, so, you know, you're not going to make a mistake. And it is one of the most therapeutic things I've ever seen. And once you've got your images out, I mean, obviously you can buy images you've already done, you know, pre-made. And once you've got the images out, you then, of course, that's when you start moving them onto backgrounds. And that's where you make your digital papers. I'm going to get a paintbrush later and actually adhere these down properly, the bits where they've not stuck very well because of the glue being a pain in the neck. Maybe it's been speaking to my stapler. And yes, I did get a few messages. Even my mum messaged me to make sure that I had put staples in my stapler. So it does work. The YouTube community is amazing. It does work. They will help you and they will tell you when you've got to remember something. There it goes. Now, of course, in America, you won't have had the problems we've had over here with it being Bonfire Night. Oh my Dixie Daisy. When I was living in Manchester, the fireworks would be going off for about a month before the 5th of December even arrived. But obviously with so many restrictions going on and the costs going up and things like that, you know, it kind of like didn't get, it gradually starts to get a bit better, doesn't it? And living up here, we've actually been saved quite a bit. You know, it tends to be about a week to a week and a half beforehand. Well, I'd had a couple of really, really quiet, lovely days, and it was really nice. And then suddenly, on Saturday, I was here, and I was just sat here crafting, and oh my days, I don't know where they were actually setting off the fireworks, but it sounded like they were actually in the kitchen with me. You know those ones that really bang loud? And the poor dogs downstairs, I think they nearly had a heart attack. Poor animals. And of course they were out, so of course they couldn't go and, you know, comfort them and calm them down or anything. So I'm up here and I'm calling through the floor, you know, saying to them, like, Marley, are you okay? Are you okay, Marley? They must think I'm nutcases. But they're lovely dogs, and if they see me in the garden or they hear me in the garden, I have to go up to the kitchen window and talk to them, so they know that they've said good morning to me or whatever. They're brilliant security dogs. They really are. They're fab security dogs. There. So I think I've got a... Yeah, there we are. That should be all done now. How lovely. And I've got one that I wanted to put the top on for, didn't I? That one, that one, that one, and that one. And then I will do the others off camera later. So it's if you, as I say, just think about what you've got. Now, another thing is, if you want, I'm just putting the lid on that glue, and hopefully if I screw it down enough, it will make a seal around that where he's decided to pull the lid off. If not, I'm going to have to put it all back in the new bottle. Good job I kept the new bottle. If you want to put wording on, and you haven't got a digital that you can play with, you know, like obviously I've got Tracie's, go on your PC, open up Word and write them. There are so many different fonts in there that you can use. Just write some words or numbers. You know, if you make the numbers quite big, you know, they're great. And then you can, if you've got a punch, you can punch them out. If not, cut them out by hand and colour them up. You know, you've got distress inks, you've got chalks, you might have gelatos, you might have anything. Colour them up and use those. You don't always have to have a digital. Quite a lot of the time when I make cards, the words on my cards are actually from something I've typed up on the PC. It doesn't cost you anything. Just a little bit of time to sit there and write out a few words. The gingerbread journal, I actually did a whole sheet of words, and I even wrote out, you know, the run as fast as you can, you can't catch me, I'm a gingerbread man. And then I used Patty, you know, her stains, Patty Veramonte's, her stains, and I covered it with that, and it's like Mod Podge with coffee in. It's the only way I can describe it. And it gave a lovely colour to it, but I wouldn't have had, I could have actually just printed them onto tea stain paper. You know, and it depends on which printer you got as to whether you can actually put your papers into tea and coffee or spray them and stain them afterwards. It just depends on which type of computer you've got, printer you've got. But think about things you can do. Maybe you've got a kiddies set where they had little stamps in. Little post office stamps used to have them in, and I've brought my kids like numbers and letters, things like that, that they can use as stamps. And you can also, I've got one little kit, it's about this big, tiny little suitcase kit. And the stamps are absolutely tiny. They're about 1/4 centimetre high. But it was from my daughter, and they sat, you know, she played with it, and when she did, you know, it went away. And then I found it one day. I thought, oh, well, that's ideal to keep for the grandkids. I didn't, you know, because it looked lovely. So think about other ways that you can actually add to your collection. But the other thing is, I would highly recommend, if you get a sheet of printables like this that you're going to be using in your collaging, make up a matchbox, you know, like Tracie's matchboxes, like this, and keep them in. If you're going to buy tins, these are before Tracie's labels came out, and pop all your stuff in there, because tins are great for the bigger stuff. This is what I use my tins for, the big ones. This is a load of, you'll recognise these are Auntie May's mushrooms. And then you've got them. And the best time to do some fussy cutting is sat in front of the telly when you're watching Hallmark videos. I highly recommend Christmas Hallmark videos for fussy cutting, because if you need to look down to a really intricate bit, you're not going to miss anything, are you? We all know what's going to happen in the Hallmark videos, but they're still great fun to watch. Anyway, guys, have an amazing Sunday. Thank you for putting up with me blethering on like no tomorrow, like I usually do. I have found another group that does the swaps, and it's Junk Journal Addicts. Jackie Chimes, a lot of you all know our Jackie. She's in that group. And then obviously Friendly Junk Journal People, that's the other place where I'm on admin at the moment, from Linda Israel, where the other swaps go on. So that's two groups that are doing swaps and challenges. In printables for your junk journals with TLC, our Paulette, she's got a challenge starting on the 17th, and I'm going to give you a sneaky peek of a couple of the papers that you'll be seeing that will be released on the 17th. You buy the kit, and they're always really cheap, they're like $2. Make something with what you've got bought, and then you will get the add-on, and the add-ons are usually another page and ephemera. So I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of what is coming in the kit. These are gorgeous, and it's Valentine's. That's how I would look at these. There's definitely Valentine feel in those, and I love somebody, and I think they're stunning. So that's a sneak peek. Nobody else will have seen them unless they've seen the video. They'll have to wait until the 17th. And I will be doing a video on that as well. Have a wonderful Sunday, everyone. Love you all to bits. Remember the giveaway. I will be doing that next Saturday morning, my time. So roughly 12 o'clock America time. Think of that as your cut-off, because by the time I do the video mid-morning Saturday here in the UK, you will all be awake. You know, it'll be 12 o'clock over there. Obviously Australia, they're ahead of all of us. they'll have longer time than we do. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a blessed Sunday. I would love to see some of your makes. I do try and catch up with as many YouTube videos as I can, but when you've got family and things happening, oh sorry I wobbled you, like my son went to the track on Friday. He had looked forward to this for so long, to go to Knock Hill, and it had so much work done on his car. He gets in the car, gets to the first bend, goes around the first bend, and the car goes off the track. Whoever fixed the car or was supposed to be working on the car had messed up. When he phoned me, my heart went in my mouth. Thankfully he's fine. It is just the car, and the garage have come to pick it up. We don't know yet who actually worked on the car, but there's been some bodge up going on because like the bolts that go through the wheel are all bent, which shows me that they've over torqued it when they've been closing them up, and they've probably messed the threads up on them. They've probably got jammed in there and can't come out. I don't know. But anyway, there was a couple, and he was saying a couple of other things had fallen off and goodness knows what else. And then, you know, so when things like that happen, everything goes to the wall and you just carry on with life, don't you? Love you all to bits. Sorry, I'll stop rabbiting. See you all soon, guys. Bye.